This night reminds me of the time out at Canusi.
Winston's home?
Indeed, yes. The staff had taken leave due to flooding. Lara, back when she was a slip of a girl, was staying with Winston and his wife. It was her that contacted me, as a matter of fact. Some trouble out on one of the islands. Weird lights, manifestations, that sort of thing. Thought I might be able to help. It was on a hellish night like this when I arrived. Evening, Winston. And how would I be able to help? So, people have seen these apparitions out on the island.
There is talk of little else in the village, Bram. I'm doing all I can to keep this gossip from Lara.
You would be a wise man. It would be unwise for her curiosity to draw her to that place.
And you have some idea of what it could be?
To be frank with you, no. But as the devil finds work for idle hands, I've spoken with Father Finnegan and have a boat chartered for the crossing late on this very evening.
Good Lord, Bram. You have not chosen the evening for it.
I have my faith to protect me, Winston.
Be careful. I fear on that island it's what you cannot see that will hurt you, Bram.
Time to get to the bottom of this, old friend.
So hello and welcome everyone to Let's Play Tomb Raider 5 Remastered. This is Gallows 115 speaking, and I am incredibly happy to welcome you to Ireland's Gallows tree. In today's level, an entirely new chapter of the Chronicles, we are gonna get our hands on 16 goodies, raising the total pickups count to 152. We are not gonna land any kills in this level, the one that follows or the one that follows, although technically we are gonna eliminate some enemies in between, but later about that, I don't want to spoil the surprise. We are playing as young Lara after all. Guys, those of you who are OGs on the channel remember me complaining about Offshore Rig, how quickly we get to pistols, and unfortunately how quickly we go back to the classic shooting gameplay. And I feel like the potential of going without pistols was not really fulfilled. Then I was really happy how they expanded on this idea in High Security Compound and somewhat in Tomb Raider 4's Cambodia. Well, here we get an entire chapter without any guns, and I couldn't be more excited about this. Furthermore, we are gonna get our hands on all 3 secrets, raising the total secrets count to 21. When it comes to breakable objects, Lara is gonna be quite the vandal, breaking 3 different objects if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, you see how many on the screen right now. When it comes to achievements, achievement hunters, I have good news, we are gonna unlock 4. First of all, we're gonna unlock Well Done for performing a somersault dive into a particular well early on in the level, then Torchdown for throwing a torch down to a particularly demonic pit, and also we are gonna unlock Impatiens. Not let the little imps hurt you in the Gallows tree levels. Imps are gonna be a new enemy type we need to outrun, and I'm gonna show you how best to avoid them. Although I don't think imps is the correct name. These should be changelings, according to Irish law, little creatures that replace bad children if they were misbehaving, is essentially the gist. And finally, we are finally gonna unlock the tail Innocence, not letting the red pecks bite you. Fun fact, you can completely avoid triggering the 2 red pecks in this level, which is gonna make this achievement even easier, but it should lend us the final point for it, and we should unlock it here. This is kind of the one achievement that spans the entire game. It doesn't make it to the 4th chapter, but there is an achievement that's gonna span the entire Irish chapter, and that's Fail Compilation. Watch all the scenes of young Lara's failures, which are absolutely hilarious. And up until I tackled the original Let's Play series in 2023, I didn't know these even existed, but I'm glad the achievement draws our attention to that. We are gonna increase this achievement by 1 point in Gallows tree level with a hilarious cutscene. So anywho guys, just like always, our inventory resets completely. We are down to 3 small medipacks, 1 large medipack. What I find really surprising is that throughout the Irish chapter of the game we do not get flares, and I don't understand why young Lara should not be able to use flares. It's really stupid. Probably something about them disabling the weapon systems altogether, and maybe flares use some weapon holster unholster mechanics. I don't have a better guess than this. Anywho, something funny I want to show you. First of all, the atmosphere is absolutely phenomenal in the remasters. In the original, the skybox was pretty good on at least PlayStation 1 version. Even some of the architecture, I just have to take a picture of this. What we're looking at, in fact, is a chapel that we need to reach to finish today's level and reach the next one, the labyrinth. However, Lara has not yet received those instructions from Father Patrick, so we'll need to be a little patient to get it over the hill. First of all, this is a Andy Sandham level, the guy behind Thames Wharf, but unlike Thames Wharf, I don't consider this an absolute atrocity of game design. In fact, I quite like a Gallows tree. But there's nothing more disheartening than trying to check what's up in the next level after finishing the previous one and having to face a massive chasm to overcome, which oftentimes stops players right dead in their tracks and try a different day. Andy Sandham loves doing that sort of thing. Like I said, every chapter of Tomb Raider 5 Chronicles had a somewhat different level designer, which is interesting. So what I like to draw your attention to, mostly, is this first secret of the level. In fact, dropping over here and making it to this cavern, whilst holding the action key to not make Lara hit her head, is gonna let you enter this cavern filled with bats. Just crouch and wait for the danger to pass, just like always. Nothing particularly excited about this. And depending on how unlucky we are, that's how much damage we are gonna take. Cool. And this is what I'm talking about. I would really appreciate some flares because you can barely see the goodies in here. It's somewhat easier in the OG graphics. So, large medpack, and the first golden rose. Amazing. And honestly, medpacks, key items, golden roses, those are pretty much the only pickups you're gonna get in this level, okay? Just want to make that clear. Now, we can kind of casually just fall down into the abyss, which is really interesting stones shaped like hexagons. I've never seen anything quite like it. And the remasters actually gave them depth, which I think is an awesome change. But if you take a stroll around here, you are going to get your hands on an additional small medipack. So, it doesn't feel like a waste of time to actually fall into this bit, which I appreciate. See more hexagons all over the ground, which I couldn't make out in the original, but here in the remaster, they've done them justice. It's pretty cool. And now, I think part of that square is in fact not slippery, so we can use that as a foothold. And then if you jump here, you're gonna get your hands on another small medpack. Yep, you don't have to do it, but of course we want all the pickups. Honestly, it's not like we are gonna take a lot of damage in Ireland or anything like that, although we are gonna have to outrun enemies rather than fight them. Young Lara does not get guns. Neither a crucifix to actually keep her safe from demons. Nope, nothing like that. Alrighty, and now you cannot climb here, but if you manually jump, press action, you can then transition into a backflip, and with mid-air roll, we are back where we started, so that's what I like to do. So now we have to overcome the chasm again, after we picked it clean of goodies, and this time, after long shimmying, although I'm thinking maybe we don't have to shimmy, maybe we can make a running jump from that platform. Although I don't think that's the case, we will just land here, and this thing is definitely slippery. Yep, absolutely. So anyway, let's take the safer, longer route, if you have the patience for it. And now, we are actually gonna have to, again, a bit of an overcorrection from how unused this was in Last Revelation, corner shimmy around here, which is pretty neat. By the way, whilst we're traversing this chasm and entering the crawl space, I just want to say how funny Winston's place in Conacy looked. It was just an absolute dilapidated hut with miserable weather. Poor Winston, such miserable living conditions. I think he's way happier in Lara's Surrey estate. That is when he's out of the freezer anyway. Shame the FMV cutscenes did not make any note or reference to that. Winston mentioning to his friend that he had a freezer accident or something. in shadow of the Tomb Raider's Croft Manor, there was a lovely Easter egg for that. Okay, this is very dark, and again, without flares or even guns to illuminate via shooting, I cannot show you properly, but don't forget the large medpack over here, and just watch this horror unfold next.
I'll stay where I am.
Fear not this visage. It is but a vessel for my troubled spirit. Come closer, for you are safe, while I am hung like so much butcher's meat.
Who are you?
Who? For it is more like what? Condemned to wander between the kingdoms of man and that of the elementals. But I must be swift in my request, for they watch and wait to once more draw me back into the darkness.
Request?
My heart, girl. They have hidden my petrified heart in the roots of this, the world tree, down under the watchful gaze of the dragon Nidhogg. Find this, my child, and return it to its rightful resting place, and you shall be rewarded.
And why on earth should I trust you?
Not on Earth, girl. In between. My soul is gone, and how it fares, nobody knows, and nobody cares.
Well, you say nobody cares, but Lara clearly does, because we are now on a quest to help you, trapped spirit. Don't you worry about a thing. I'm sure we can trust you. After all, Lara asked, why should I trust you? And they didn't really answer the question, which would be the first red flag. But anywho, I just love what they did with this place. Again, I will keep gushing about how gorgeous the remastered Tomb Raider 5 looks. Although, and this is not this of the remaster, but I guess the original version, this is supposed to be the world tree? Yggdrasil? This? Really? I mean, I guess it's the roots that are more important than what's on the surface. And the Serpent Nidhogg, we are actually gonna hear a conversation later on in the level between the Serpent and Father Patrick. But Father Patrick will refer to the Serpent as a demon. Then again, Christians tend to refer everything that's not Christian as demons and horrible and awful, anything like that, and don't seem to have much reverence for other mythologies, which I don't particularly like. But it's really interesting because there seems to be some conflict between whatever this spirit is. It's not like it's a spirit of a hanged person, it's just the visage they took to talk to Lara, which I think was a very poor choice for a frightened, what is it, 14, 16-year-old girl? Something like that. But anywho, we are now on a quest to get the heart. What I want to draw your attention to also is this little barrel. If you approach it, you'll trigger a musical cue, and despite looking empty, inside is one of the changelings we need to not get hurt by for the Impatiens achievement. So the easiest thing altogether is to not even trigger the barrel. Anyway, let me draw your attention to the second secret of the level. This one is very straightforward. Just climb up here and pick it up on top of this column. Again, difficult to see in the remaster, much easier in the OGs. All this could be fixed with a couple of flares. I don't know why the remasters didn't give them to us at least. Anywho, what we need to do is jump into the well, as counterintuitive as it seems, because we need to get our hands on a rather unimpressive key item. But it's the more efficient order of things, and as soon as we get to non-slippery surface, crouch. And I guess whilst crouched, we can... No, Lara? use this time to navigate to there, just so we don't waste time. Maybe that resulted in me taking some more damage, but honestly, that's fine. It's not like we're playing New Game Plus yet. That's gonna be a fun video to put together. Anywho, guys, remember the well done achievement? Now you just need to make a swan dive and somersault. And there we go, perform a clean somersault dive into the well. So from the well itself, it's actually easier to do it stationary without even initiating a slide. We are now gonna swim into sort of a half-sunken village of sorts, if that even makes sense what I'm saying. Over here... Ah yeah, there's a corner. We can even go up here, but this is a completely blocked off passage. Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. I wish we would have some flares. It is really dark from where I'm sitting in my room right now. Okay, and there should be an optional opening of sorts. I think this might actually be it. Yes. Now, we are inside a hut with a particularly interesting looking bicycle. However, we cannot climb here, okay? This is too tall for Lara's hands to get out of water. But I would like to, maybe even from the chest of drawers over here, oh shoot, take a picture of the OG and remastered version. It seems to be motorized or even powered up by electricity. But it's like an experiment from 19th century. It's absolutely fascinating. Anywho, let's go for another dive. And now we should in fact be getting out of water here. Now guys, be very careful where you move, because you can trigger the appearance of a swarm of rats, which we must not let bite us at all. I think you can trigger it if you move into this position, but what if... Okay, this seems safe so far. Okay, excellent. We avoided triggering the swarm of rats altogether. And this is gonna make our tail Innocence so much easier to unlock. Now from here, I guess the idea is we go there and slide over there, but you can also make a direct running jump. This is the hut with that interesting bicycle inside, and that's probably what drew Lara's attention. Wait a second. Lara, no, you were supposed to somersault. Oh, I see what's happening. Okay. It seems as I did that somersault, my keyboard changed from English to Slovak, and now my Y and Z keys position is swapped around. I need to disable that on this new laptop, because that's gonna make certain moves impossible. Anywho, what we got in this chest of drawers is a rubber tube. But along with a stick, we'll be able to turn that into the most powerful weapon in the game. Not a sling, but a catapult. Yeah, there's a difference, as a couple of viewers have actually corrected me, which I find interesting. And now we need to make it back into the water, and yeah, I guess we're not really gonna avoid triggering the swarm of rats anymore, are we? Let's see, if we swim through here... Ah, there they are. No, Lara! God damn it. Why did she resurface when we were swimming? And we have just failed tail Innocence. So my friends, I'm gonna restart the whole level all over again and see you back at this spot. Okay guys, so with the rubber hose safely in our hands, let's try to handle this somewhat differently and not even trigger the appearance of the rats altogether. Then, let's use this stable corner piece. No fancy camera angles, pretty please, Lara. And I would like to do a running jump, if at all possible, in here. Ooh, we need to be careful if we want to avoid triggering the rats. Oh my god, that was so close. Whew. Okay, wow. Oh no, I hear them. We must have triggered them over the corner piece of the water tile. Okay, let's get out of here. This is actually really exciting. Let's not approach the barrel. No, we triggered the appearance. Okay, you know what? That's an excellent photo opportunity. Oh, look at the poor little baby. What about now? Is this a better shot? I can't tell if it's front or it's back turned, but this is kind of adorable. It does have a creepy mouth somewhat, but I just can't help but feel, you know, gentle feelings towards these little fellas. Like they're trying to make the most out of what they have, even though they want to absolutely kill us. I can't be mad at them, you know what I mean? Anyway, the little fella is eventually gonna start chasing us. By the way, this door over here is banging, which I think is a really cool detail. And look at glass pane? This must be more modern than I thought. Anyway, next to the church ruins, under them, there is another key item that we need to get our hands on to create the most powerful weapon available. This, on its own, is gonna be called the pitchfork, mind you. And with the rubber tube or hose or however you want to call it, Lara's gonna create a catapult, which apparently is the proper UK word for this thing, not sling, but a catapult. There we go. And now if you have the action indicator, you'll see one popping here. Just observe this carnage. My goodness gracious, Lara. You almost died there. Father Patrick would have some serious explaining to do to your parents. Anyway, this was fun. And the idea is that, no, this is not a torch, this is the iron clapper from the bell. But guys, please do not pick it up, because picking it up will disable the fail compilation achievement progress. We need to leave it here so that Lara will fail later on in the level, okay? Now, we are gonna enter an absolutely fascinating area, probably my favorite from this level, and that's burial mounds and barrow hills. Oh yes, baby. So first of all, there should be a torch over here. There we go. Does not count as a pickup, unfortunately. And I think there should be a small medipag in one of these. It's not the second burial mound, but I think it should be the third over here. So let's drop the torch, because we do need free hands to pick it up, and honestly dropping the torch inside one of these runs the risk of the torch clipping with the sarcophagus, and then you'll be unable to pick it up, which means you're gonna soft lock yourself in the level. The torch is mandatory, not optional. As we approach, you can see the light suddenly turning off, similar to what we've seen in the sinking submarine. The idea is you just use this torch to light this one, because we'll need to do some further distraction. Now over here is a receptacle which will open the wooden door over here. Not that one, that's not actually a door, even though it looks like one. This one is. And we need to put the spirit's heart that it's looking for over here, which is odd, because I always assumed you need to return it where we met it, and that's where the world tree is, where the hangman's corpse was hanging. But no, you need to put it here. How you're supposed to figure this out, I have absolutely no bloody idea. Anywho, let's descend a bit more safely. And with the torch over here, oh, we can do a lot. Okay, first of all, guys, let's leave the torch here. Let's break away some loose tiles. And wait, because there be bats. Oh, yes, baby. And that's not it. There's gonna be yet another bat swarm around the corner. Thankfully, this has nothing to do with the Tail Innocence achievements. Okay, these are flying rodents. Those can hit us. It's the ground non-flying rodents that are the problem. Oh my god. Okay. And you know what? Since we are crouched, we might as well approach the spikes. And guys, I want to show you something really cool that I had no idea is the case. You can crawl through the spikes, and that's exactly what you need to do to reach the third and final secret of the level. It's important you don't walk first and then transition into crawl, because this animation will hurt you in spikes. But if you're just keeping crawled and don't turn into walk, then you are safe and will not take any damage. Okay, so that's a really neat thing. Let's just keep going. So no animation changes whilst within the spikes, but once we cross this threshold, we should be safe to use our feet properly. Excellent. And now, oh, I guess I should have not left the torch here. It means we need to go around the whole place again. But yeah, you can completely overcome the spiky pit via this corridor, so it's a little bit obsolete. And now, one of perhaps the most puzzling things in the entire game, that is if you don't have the action indicators on, and that is, just like the fire sprinkle system in Cairo in Tomb Raider 4, we need to set ablaze the world tree itself. Guys, honestly, I don't think that's good for the world, but Lara doesn't care. There we go. Let's drop the torch carefully. We will need it yet again. And we have just picked up the heart.
this is but a child, and she shall not cross your boundary, as you shall not cross ours.
Come closer, false prophet. It is easier to be brave from a distance.
I am here now, and I have a gift for you. You cantankerous old worm.
Curse you, priest! If you live till doomsday, you shall burn a week longer than the world! I swear!
Iron, never found a demon yet that doesn't burn at its touch.
What was in the hole?
In the... Never mind that. What on earth are you doing here? No, don't bother. We'll get onto that later. Right now, we need to get you out to somewhere safe until the morning. That's assuming you'll stay in one place, young lady.
Nothing with demons, right?
Well, I can't promise anything in this godforsaken place. I light the way and go on ahead to clear out any unwelcome guests. Now, once you're out, head to the chapel, over the bridge. I'll meet you there. I'm forgetting me manners. Don't speak to strange things. And if there's anything around, and trusting the skills in this area, there shouldn't be. Iron girl, use iron to repel them. See you up top. Keep your wits about you.
Well, Father Patrick, I don't trust your skills because there are still plenty of little imps or changelings around. What's interesting is that he was surprised when Lara asked about the hall. He was like, in the... what? But there clearly is a hall, so he saw maybe something different? Anyway, I guess what matters to us is that we get to unlock the Torchdown achievement, provided you didn't lose the torch on the way, via throwing it into the hall. And that's something that all of us did anyway. We of course want to know what's down there. Check if the demon has been exorcised, and honestly, the remasters didn't really add any reference, you know, like a sprinkling of iron over here or anything like that. And this, my friends, presumably was the serpent Needhawk that the hanged corpse was talking about. The serpent was keeping its heart away from whatever that other spirit is in the roots of the tree, just as they said. We now have the heart, which does count as a pickup, although interestingly enough, in the remasters, it looks like an organic heart, but the original one looked like it's a stone made out of rubies or something like that. And I feel like here the remasters messed up and failed the intent. It was not supposed to be an organic heart, in my opinion, but they decided to go along with it like this. Must be awkward to the touch, let me put it like that. Now, following Father Patrick, we are gonna pick up the small medipack. And now, guys, you can absolutely slide down here, and you will find yourselves... Oh, wait a second. Trickery! Ah, if you slide down here, the game's gonna teleport you to another place on the map with the world tree and the hanging corpse and the well and the little changeling. But guys, don't go there. It's an inefficient way to do things, and it's also gonna put the Impatiens achievement at risk, because we want to avoid all the little imps. Instead, it is far better if we retrace our steps through this spiky trapped hallway and back to the burial mounds, okay? Remember, just because they collapse doesn't mean we can't go around like this. And this was a ladder, which is difficult to make out in the complete and utter darkness and the lack of flares. But yeah, we can absolutely come back here. And since we have the heart, we can now put it into this receptacle. Again, if it's your first time playing, you probably followed Father Patrick and try to return the heart to the hanging corpse, but no, you're supposed to put it here for whatever reason. Observe. That sounded like a very old lecherous man. Not even demonic, just a lecherous dude. I bet one of the developers voiced that. And there they are, an army of changelings, which makes Impatiens achievement quite the challenge now. But have no fear, we are gonna watch the most hilarious cutscene of the entire game. Two of them are fighting in the distance. What was happening? Why did they disappear? Did they just want to tickle her, take her off, piss her off, and then just disappear. Anyway, guys, we need to be careful. They are still chasing us. But I find this absolutely hilarious. This was the first point for the fail compilation. I think in the old mill level, so not the next level, but one afterwards, we're gonna unlock the achievement fully. But guys, this is such a must-see cutscene. It's amazing. And this only worked because we do not yet have the iron clapper in our inventory. I'm of course talking about this. See? See how everything is well connected if you retrace your steps rather than follow the priest? There we go. And with this thing in our inventory, approaching the same corridor again is gonna trigger a completely different cutscene, allowing us to continue the level, okay? We just need to get there without those things hurting us. It seems to be okay, I tested this. If you brush past them and touch them, and Lara makes a "oh" sound, but they just must not deal damage, so it's better than the no fish soup achievement or things like that. Ah, now it's different, see? Aw, poor babies. Well, they disappeared anyway, just like before. It's a bit strange. I kinda wish it would be game over screen after the previous fail cutscene, but anyway. And now Lara uncovers a path to the chapel where Father Patrick sent her, which is mighty convenient. Let's get out of here, and the little fellas should not be able to overcome this step, so we are now officially safe from changelings, or imps as the achievement calls them. But of course you need to reach the level end for the achievement to trigger, that's when it checks. And hopefully Tail Innocence will be ours as well, otherwise I don't know what I'll do. Anywho, the final swarm of bats. Oh, and this is really cool, whilst they're busy obliterating us. Oh look! The bats are animated in photo mode, I had no idea. Anywho guys, we've seen this wooden bridge. Unfortunately we cannot move the camera outside of it, but we are back where the level began, at the beginning of the abyss. So again, this is Andy Sandham level, just like Thames Wharf. The beginning and end are very close to one another, but there is a giant annoying abyss in the way. Anyway, Lara, back down. And let's let the danger pass. Although you know what, we're doing fine. And I'm running a bit out of patience. Let's pick up the final goodie of the level and check if the achievements and statistics are ours. And I think we should still be able to climb there and save the game before triggering the level end. Okay, I'm gonna be really careful here. I'm a bit unsure, so let me make a level end save. And over here, my friends, is the entrance to the chapel where we are gonna begin the next level. We are not really gonna get another opportunity to take a picture of it, which is why I want to do it now. And it seems the remasters put a cross or a little tower on it, which was missing from the OG. No cross is here, which is probably why it's so demon infested. Okay, let's take a picture, and I would now like to show you the final stat screen of the level. So my friends, this was the Gallows tree. We have gotten our hands on all 16 goodies, raising the total pickups count to 152. We have not killed anything, so our kills count will be the same for Gallows tree, the labyrinth, and the old mill levels. It will not change. Our secrets count has increased by 3 to 21, and we have broken all the breakable objects. Maybe I should say 4 rather than 3 objects, if we count the bell tower, the 2 loose tiles, and also burning the roots of the world tree. I mean, it's our own custom count, so it's how we interpret it. We have also unlocked Well Done for doing a rather stylish swan dive. We've also unlocked the Torchdown by throwing the torch down to the serpent, a Needhawk. But we are now gonna find out if we unlocked Impatiens for not letting the imps touch us, and even more concerningly, Tail Innocence, because we were not touched by a single rat throughout our playthrough. I mean, we're pretending the original accident didn't happen because I reloaded. And finally, we made 1 point of progress for the fail compilations. So let's see if the achievements unlock, and if yes, I'm gonna say thanks to my absolutely amazing patrons, because it's thanks to them they will unlock. Right? Right? Please unlock. Oh, thank goodness. Haha, thank you, Patreons. But let me thank you properly through this sneak peek to the next level. Blangoopel, Mick, Severin Drex, Enstickle, Katie Danger, Pooh the 2, Basic Bryony, Bino, and Alex Clark. Thank you guys so much for being my loyal Winstons and for getting us a boat ticket ride to the Black Isle. Next, I would like to say big thanks to my caretaker Winstons, Karavetu, Renegade Ernie, Blanket Fox, Jonathan Jones, Dig the Bee, PD92 and Akires. Thank you guys so much for your support of the channel, and also thank you today for finding a home for all the little lost changelings. Just look how incompetent they'd be without your help. I would also like to give special thanks to my brave veteran Winstons, Andrea Pavilianiti, Alexander and Richard Dearman. Thank you guys so much for your valiant support of the channel, and also thank you for teaching young Lara how to handle herself. Long before she held her first gun, she wielded that iron clapper like a professional and did away with a whole group of demons. Cute little tiny demons. And finally, I would like to give one very special thanks to my one and only fine vintage Winston, Akira Foxmind. Thank you so much for your long and incredibly generous support of the channel. You're such a big help. And also thank you today for literally saving the world tree. After Lara set it on fire for her pursuit of a favor for a spirit she should not trust, you were the one who subsequently doused the fires, saved the world tree, and saved the world itself as a result, using the powers of Lara's freezer. Thank you again for being our savior today. And on a final note, I'd like to say thanks to my free Patreon members, as well as to each and every one of you for making it to the end of today's episode. So guys, what did you think about Ireland? I am beyond excited that we get to play no pistols levels again, no guns even, to be more specific. It's a favorite concept of mine ever since Natla's Mines, and I'm curious to know what you think about the Irish levels in the comment section below. And also thank you just for spending the time with me. The fact that you decide to spend your precious free time watching my videos truly keeps me humbled. Nevertheless guys, I thought the video I'd be uploading today would be my next Gothic entry, but that's not the case. That will happen in a couple of days. It took way longer than I anticipated, so I decided not to keep you Tomb Raider fans waiting and tackled the Gallows tree today. So Gothic will be next, and then I'm gonna tackle the next Irish level, Labyrinth. Until I'll see you there again, I wanna wish all of you happy raiding.